sort of swirling around us. But yes, as you mentioned, I've been a Goodwill Ambassador for UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, for the last 10 years, which has been one of the most eye-opening and profound privileges of my life. And in that time, I've travelled extensively with them from places like Bangladesh to Brazil to Niger, South Sudan, many different places. And I felt my role was to put a human face on the overwhelming numbers of displacement. It's always surprised and bewildered me that one of the greatest challenges that we face as a species, apart from anthropogenic climate change, human displacement, and there's a crossover with those two things, of course, is that they're not really central to the narratives, even backgrounded into the narratives that we tell, that we write about, but certainly the narratives that we put on screen. And so, just over 2 years ago, a group of us, and some coaches here, and Isaac's here, and Ayman, we were at the Global Refugee Forum, and we made a pledge that we wanted to help champion and scaffold and mainstream the stories of displaced artists. For people in displacement, you don't stop being the profession that you are, whether you're a plumber or an architect or a filmmaker, but your career gets put on hold. And as a result, those stories don't get told. And so we swirled around, and then I met Claire. It was a great fortuitous reconnection at the London Film Festival, and then got involved with IFFR, and very quickly, this, like all good ideas, urgent ideas, it started to take form very quickly, and here we are with the second cohort. But I mean, the time that I've been working with UNHCR, when I started, the numbers of people internally and externally displaced was around 60 million. It's now 117 million and rising. So the crisis is there, and the numbers are dehumanizing actually often. So it was very important to us to there's many programs around the world who support filmmaking as a therapeutic process, but we felt what we wanted to do was highlight and support the work of established filmmakers and get them into the mainstream. So that was the why. And when they were screened at Rotterdam in February, I always forget what I'm January this year, which is just a heartbeat ago, we could not have hoped for a better suggestion, which just really underscored for me the fact that this very, very polarizing rhetoric that we get, politicized rhetoric that we get around these issues, these stories, these people, these lives, is really not true, because the audiences they exploded, and the conversation in the foyer afterwards was so engaged and heartfelt. And what was interesting, I think, for all of us involved, was that each of the films stood with their own merit as individual works of cinema, but when you saw them together as a cohort, they had a superpower. And so we were very excited to try and move to a legacy fund. So I really must thank our partners for getting us here, and the hope is that this long may continue. And I couldn't be more excited to meet you guys in person. We've been talking, and your submissions and your ideas are just wildly exciting. So I can't wait to for audiences to see them. And you better get going, because they've got to be delivered by January. No pressure.
One of the filmmakers not even here yet.
But also, I just wanted to quickly say that why a short film? And I think for any filmmaker, and I'd love to hear what you guys think, it's often a place where you get the freedom to experiment, and often short films have the most sort of wild, technical, visual, and narrative forms of invention within them. And so I think it's reinvigorated my love of this particular form of cinematic storytelling. Wonderful.